Hey guys, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Dulce, and this is Alchemy of Knowledge. And today, the first card that I pulled in was Saturn. So we're in this current energy of Saturn, and Saturn has to do with the long-term goals, the foundation, the building, the conquering over the obstacles to build you stronger. It's not to punish you, but to also teach you how to be resilient whenever you're being faced like through shortcomings or challenges in life, because life is always going to challenge you. It's just like, how are you going to learn to overcome it? How are you going to take the lesson and take it to the next one when it's presented to you to make it easier on yourself, and so that way you can help others as well. Another thing that I'm also seeing with Saturn is you're learning about boundaries and how to protect yourself, and how you're gonna be walking now in this current reality with these new boundaries that you're realizing that you're needing to establish or have already started establishing. And you're saying by you setting these boundaries, you're actually protecting yourself. You shouldn't be feeling any sense of guilt for establishing boundaries or for standing your ground. And you shouldn't shy away. And for some of you guys, I can just tell you guys are used to being people pleasers. You're always wanting to, give yourself out and sacrifice yourself. And now Spirit's yo, it is time that you finally voice yourself out and be so unapologetically yourself and speak your truth and speak how you really feel without, the care of how any individual is going to feel about that boundary. And that is a part about learning to overcome that guilt and shame that you feel within yourself whenever you're establishing boundaries. Because as a people pleaser, it's very hard, because you can empathize, but just because you're empathizing, it does not mean that people deserve that kind of access to you. And that is something that you're finally realizing, how sacred your energy really is, how sacred you really are, and having access to you should be very expensive. Not everybody needs to know your information or where you're going in life, or what you're up to. It's none of their business. Just keep it short and simple type deal. But let's see what else Saturn has been teaching you guys, or what other energies we have going on. Okay, so it looks like you were going through a period of reflection, and the ways how you implemented your boundaries, and the way that you would go about life with following through with your disciplines, and how sometimes you would backtrack on your own disciplines. Sometimes you establish a boundary, but maybe it wasn't firm enough to be don't cross it, and you have to establish another one. And sometimes you'll step back, and sometimes even give in for just establishing a boundary. And that's what Spirit has been showing you, the many times that you probably backtracked yourself because you felt some kind of way, or you just didn't know any better at that moment. But this period of the reflection mode that you've had was to teach you a lesson. It's not to beat yourself up or to say oh my God, thanks, thank you for reminding me that I didn't do good. No, this was necessary, because sometimes whenever you're learning so much, you tend to forget what you got to be retaught again through a lesson. And so that way Spirit is showing you hey, we wanted to teach you this, so that way whenever another similar circumstance or a different circumstance pops up, you already know how to handle it. You already know how to communicate it, or you know how to overcome it. I'm seeing 999s so freaking much, it's not even funny. 355, I'm saying this you're ending this cycle of backtracking on your boundaries, and letting people even family members feel comfortable to step all over you. Because I can just see for some of your family members, they're used to talking to you in a certain way, treating you a certain way. And for some people, you guys are comfortable with how people talk to you, but it's also a reflection of how are you allowing that to affect you on an unconscious way. And also how are you allowing people outside of you to talk to you. And it's also a period of you reflecting within yourself, and how do you talk to yourself, because it's the way how you're treating yourself is how people are going to treat you. So if you're treating yourself with low regard, don't be surprised when people outside of you treat you in low regards. Raise your standards, literally elevate yourself. And don't be seeking that outside validation or approval of people to validate, your experience, or to validate, you deserving to be treated correctly, to be treated right, to be treated with respect and have decency. And, What is that word? I'm trying to remember this word. I'm hearing this word condemned. Like, you probably have been condemned for setting your boundaries, or disrespected or stepped all over, like, for even having these boundaries. But there was just this word. When people think about you, like, they consider you, is what I'm referring to, like being considered. Like, you deserve to be considered. Yeah, this is going through a whole transformation. Like, your whole boundaries, the way that you go about discipline, the way that you're viewing discipline, like, those belief systems are, like, transforming themselves. And you're changing them. And, with this new beginning of yours, you're just gonna solidify even more. Like, yo, this is what I require. This is what I need. You either take it or leave it. And you know what? I'm gonna be in acceptance with, this is how I'm gonna run things. And, you can feel however you want. But I'm not going to accommodate myself to, your needs, or feel bad because I have my own standards. Yeah, because you're finally realizing that taking care of yourself is essential. It is vital. And I keep seeing so many videos about, like, it's because we've seen so many, like, for my ladies, like, we've seen our mothers, our aunts, our grandparents, like, give themselves away, because that's what you're so used to, like, you sacrifice everything about yourself that you're so used to, like, neglecting yourself. And this is for my divine feminines. Like, you guys are so used to, like, over sacrificing yourself for your loved ones, for your family, for your friends, like, for your community. Like, you give yourself out, and then you forget to take care of yourself and take care of your needs, and, like, to remind yourself that you got to take care of yourself first before you can give anything out to the world, because you're just going to leave empty-handed each and every time, and then wonder why you're so drained. So Spirit's, like, saying, like, this is a time to, like, implement, to plant those seeds of taking care of yourself, to do, like, self-love, talk to yourself nicely, treat yourself nicely, especially in these changing times. Like, your self-care is really going to reflect a lot on the outside. And it also has to do with your mental. Like, how are you viewing the world? How are you thinking about the world? How are you feeling? And what kind of thoughts are you, like, feeding? Like, there was a video that I saw, like, right now, sit with yourself and tell the voice inside your head to yell. Like, realize how much control you have of that, like, hearing that yell in your head. That's how much control you have over your thoughts. And so, with you having control of your thoughts, like, it's going to take you some discipline. It's you mastering your mind, mastering your thoughts, mastering where you want to put your focus on. Because whenever you have a thought and it creates an emotion, it creates, like, this, like, pool of events. And you don't want, a negative pool of events. You want a good momentum of events. So it's like, how are you going to pivot from that? How are you going to discipline yourself? And now for my masculines, sometimes even you guys notice within your own father figures, or, your grandparents, like, how much, like, they would give to the family, but they will be so worn out and tired from working their asses off just to provide. And maybe you're just so used to providing that, you're not even, like, treating yourself. Like, you're forgetting that, I got to treat myself, take myself out, relax. I also need, sometimes to, like, get a massage, get a facial done, go to a dinner, or even, like, dress myself up, or, have a new workout, or work out for myself so I can feel better about myself. Like, and this is, like, a caring theme for, like, both the divine masculine and feminine, like, realizing how much you've been over-giving and over-sacrificing yourself out, and how much you've been doing too much, and handing your energy just like nothing, like, without, like, any tax or any, like, care or diligence, like, as if it's, like, expensive. Yeah, and this is, like, this is all getting, like, solidified. Like, this whole foundation is getting solidified. If it's not right now, it's pretty soon. Like, this reality is just it's gonna shift. And you're gonna see, by you implementing these new lessons, these new disciplines that you are finally gonna put into your life, and even, like, putting in boundaries that you realize, like, actually work for you, for your needs and wants, and knowing how to communicate it in the proper way, where it's like, like, I said, in the most respectful way, I addressed it. There was, no confusion in the air. Like you're gonna start knowing how to, how you're gonna be more at peace, and also you're gonna start radiating because you're finally gonna be taking your power back. And this is all about you taking your power back by implementing this stuff, put it into practicality, not just, here having it up in your mind, up in the air. You're finally gonna solidify it into your 3D life. Because yeah, in the 5D you might have all the answers, but whenever it comes to like the 3D, it's like, okay, I'm a human being experiencing, humans that are, not awake, still working through their unconscious mind. And there's others that, they're going through their own stuff. So Spirit's like teaching you, like, I'm showing you all of these ways to navigate this stuff because you are going to have to learn this. So that way you don't have to repeat the same old cycle that your family members, your ancestral lineage has been repeating, or any of the people that have been around you, or any of the cycles or patterns that you've had. And even like the belief system, like you're finally challenging that belief system and letting it die once and for all. 1111, as I'm saying this, like it is dying. Like once and for all, it is dying. Like you're letting that belief system that was, old age, old world, is finally dying. Yeah, because this is going to really help you a lot when it comes to like applying it to your aspirations and goals. And it's really going to like turn on that flame for you, because you're going to have your whole power back, your energy to yourself. And then you're also going to realize like how worthy you've been this whole entire time. You're not just going to, sacrifice yourself and think people are going to like, because you want to be chosen or picked. You're finally just going to realize like how worthy you've been all along, that you don't have to give yourself away. Like if it's the right people, they're just going to be there because they respect you and they honor you, not because they're there to take. And I'm seeing like you're finally realizing your worth and value as you're going through this whole process. What else, spirits? Yes. That's heavy on Capricorn energy here. Heavy on the Capricorn energy. And I'm also seeing Taurus. So you might have Taurus, Capricorn placements. Yeah. And also like fire placements in your chart. So take it as you wish. But this is like the message. A lot of having to do with boundaries and accepting, that you had to go like through ups and downs, even when it came to boundaries. And sometimes like, you had to have a little hiccups. So you could realize like, oh, I still need more work on this. Or, having a different bird's eye view, like, okay, well, how can I implement this boundary where it's actually going to be, heard and respected, and not be taken as like, a power move or manipulative. Because sometimes even as human individuals, we don't even know how to properly set boundaries. And it can just really be taken wrong if it's not said properly, or if it's not spoken out loud. Yup. Because you're literally going to be walking into like this new life with a bunch of freaking luck. A lot of great luck for you. And I'm very proud. Like, you've gone through like the ringer. You've gone through the ups and downs. You've been walked all over by so many individuals. And sometimes like this stuff was just happening unconsciously and you were not even realizing it. Like you were just so open, so ready for people to just be in your life, that you realize like, oh, there is discernment, there's boundaries, there's communication. There has to be a mutual amount of respect and honor. And, in the midst of it, just because, either you were lonely out of desperation or you just didn't know any better, like you just allowed people in, and little by little they were taken away and zapping at your energy and essentially making you feel like devalued or used or taken for granted. And you were wondering like, why am I feeling this way? And you just couldn't even connect the dots, but it's because you didn't have boundaries. Man, take it from me, because that is something that I'm learning. I'm learning how to communicate my boundaries. Boundaries can look very different for any person that I'm speaking to right now. Like, seriously, like, I would definitely, like, there is a book called Boundaries. I am so gonna get it because I gotta work on myself. But I would also ask ChatGPT or AI. It works wonders. It works so many wonders. I would highly recommend it if you're asking for, you know, another perspective. And just like, hey, how do I set boundaries? And it will be the quickest way to like learn and see like how have you been communicating, and how ChatGPT can actually help you how to word it out and even put it more into your own authentic way of like speaking. But it's also like, it's not only just that, but also like learning how to practice it on your own. So that's why I'm like recommending also that book itself. I am so like, I need to get that book. I have that book in my like in my gallery in my phone for like months, like I think like since like December, not last year, but like 2 years ago or something like that, or a year ago. And I just kept seeing it, and I just kept seeing it, and I just kept seeing it. And it's like, dude, get on the memo, dude. Like, you gotta learn this stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm hearing like right now, like takers are gonna be takers. If you don't have boundaries, they're just gonna keep on taking, because for one, you're not gonna know any better, and they're just gonna be taken to their expense. And we're not with that shits. But other than that, yeah. Literally the last card, fulfillment. You're ending the cycle. You're ending the cycle, and I'm excited. I'm so excited. I know it feels very uncomfortable because you're going through the growing pains. I know. Yeah. I'm gonna put this card back. We're gonna see. I guess Spirit guys, how is good. What else do they need to know right now? Okay, so right now you are getting so many downloads. You might be seeing synchronicities. You might be seeing like, you know, numbers, animals, songs. You know, it was funny because like today, like there is like this song of Ariana Grande. Something having to do with the sun. And then boom, when I open on TikTok, it pops up. And I'm like, bro, ain't no fucking way. Like, what? So songs can be very significant. Please pay attention to it. Don't play like, oh, because I have my little moments. So if I'm having my little moments, I'm sure that whoever's watching this video is having their little moments of, oh, it's no way. Maybe it's too good to be true. Just follow the synchronicities and just listen to your intuition. Your intuition has been letting you know, give you signs. If you're feeling resistance, it's a no. Someone needed to hear that. If it's resistance, it's a no. Yep. Ah. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So there's so many choices that are being asked of you right now in this moment. So many directions that you can go about it. Spirit's like saying, like, listen to me. Sevens can be very freaking significant. Like 777, 707. Like, sevens are significant here. You might be born on the 7th. But yeah. And this is all in regards to like you building that firm foundation, you protecting your sense of self, like you learning your inner own authority. Getting to know yourself and stay rooted within yourself, regardless of the situations or outcomes, and knowing like, you know, I can still be good in the midst of the chaos. I can still be good wherever I'm going. And that's on you realizing your own power. And I'm glad that you're finally realizing your own power. You're transforming. You're transmuting so much stuff that's been going on the inside of you. And it's you just having to realize how powerful you've been all along. That you actually stand out. Like that, you know, your boldness doesn't have to be loud. It's just known. It's just respected. People just see you and they just know your authority as an individual. You don't have to flaunt it or, you know, try to like act like, oh my God, like look at me. Like, no, you're just that silent, authoritative person. People just sense it energetically. And that's because you're finally like, you know, standing in your truth and also standing solid within yourself. Like, because you trust yourself. You've been through the trials and tribulations. You set the boundaries. You're setting these goal plans for yourself. You're taking care of yourself. And, you know, you're having faith and trust in the universe because it's been sending you many downloads and synchronicities and signs like, yo, this is the best course of action for you. And you're going to get recognized for it, for listening. Like, for like listening, like literally listening to your intuition and listening to yourself, that yes, finally, it is time. Finally, I get my reward. Finally, I get recognized for all of my hard work and dedication. And it's not only gonna be like from spirit, it's gonna be from people closest to you. It's gonna be in celebrations. It's gonna be, you blowing up. You even like receiving like, an offer for yourself. And it's because you made the right choice for yourself. You weren't doing it based on anybody's else choices. You weren't letting anybody's else inner compass guide you. You decided to allow your inner compass guide you because it was telling you and it was warning you and it was sending you signs. So this is why you're getting your recognition. This is why you're getting your power back. This is why you're being recognized, because you realize who you are. At the end of the day, nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can take away who you are. Nobody can replace you or be you. And that's just you stepping on your authentic self, like speaking your truth and allowing your truth to change and transform environments and situations. Like, dude, I'm telling you, like, whenever you, like, I get the sensation you are somebody that whenever you walk to an establishment, like, you transform it, like, automatically, like, it's not even like, years. It's like months and weeks, and you start seeing like how the system starts changing. It starts updating. You start seeing like how they're implementing all these other things. It's because it's your vibration. Your vibration is saying like, we're gonna recalibrate this place. We're gonna put it into balance where it's fair for all and not unfair. You are someone that balances out energy whenever it's in balance. And your voice speaks so many volumes. Your voice is heard and respected. Like nobody has anything negative to say about you, because they know you spoke your truth. You were honest. You were being transparent. There was nothing that was hidden. You were just speaking because you were just standing your ground. You're like, you know what? This is how I feel. This is how the situation made me feel. And you know what? It is what it is. No more fucking second guessing myself, because I know what I am at the end of the day, and there's nothing that can like 222 as I'm saying this, like there is nothing that can like push me back or make me think otherwise, because I know who I am at the end of the day. And because you're allowing this stuff happen, like there's going to be an accelerated motion. There is going to be so many transformations, so many miracles coming your way. A wish fulfillment seriously is coming your way. It's like you've been wishing upon a star, like for this like dream, like there has been something that you've been wishing on. This could be a new job, career, place, like, yeah. Or even like, you've been wishing on having some rest, some relaxation. And I feel because like for a very long time, you've been performing. You've been doing above and beyond for everybody else, but not for yourself. You were giving and giving and giving, and it wasn't being reciprocated back. It wasn't being appreciated the way that it needed to be appreciated. It was taken for granted. And, Spirit's like saying, like, it is time that you take a break. Take a break. Everything's going to be handled for you. Take a break. Let your mind rest. Let your body rest. I know that you have been losing sleep. You have not been getting rest. And it is time that you tap into, nature and ground yourself and allow all that scattered energy within your body and even through your nervous system to just ground itself. You've been carrying too many energies, too many frequencies, and even you, I'm hearing like you might probably be carrying entities or energies that are not even yours. And it's time that you finally ground yourself and just let it all go. Release it into the world. Visualize that you're covered in this white light that is protecting you and guiding you. And whenever you're needing that kind of like protection, just ask your spirit guides, hey, remove anything and anything that's around me or attached to me. Let my only energy be the only thing that is existent in this room. And just watch how the energy shifts and changes. Like you're just going to start feeling more like yourself. And also like telepathically, like you're just going to start realizing like, oh, these are my thoughts. These are not this and that person's thoughts. These are my thoughts. So yeah, guys, that should be all for your reading. Major on taking rest and just allowing yourself to like transform and set those boundaries. And I'm proud of you that you're finally realizing like your power, like you are finally taking back your power, and you're so gonna get rewarded for it. You're getting rewarded for sure. It's like ain't no way that you're gonna be dismissed. Like if it's not through like the physical realm, it's gonna be through the spiritual realm. And spirit has like so many gifts, so many things to give out to you. But that's because you're standing in your truth. You're being real with yourself and you're being real with others. And that's going to be highly rewarded in the long end. So that is your read, guys. If it resonates, it resonates. And if it doesn't, leave it at the window. Do not force it. Bye, and thank you for tapping in.